Hi, everyone. Welcome to IELTS Energy on YouTube. In today's video, you are going to meet Michelle, a three Keys student who got the scores she needed on IELTS. She actually applied for a remark when she got a 6.5 on writing and had her score adjusted to that 7 that she needed. So listen today to hear all about her story and the process for getting that remark. And don't forget to go to allearsenglish.com/IELTS quiz to get your estimated band score and free resources for your level. All right, let's meet Michelle. Welcome, everyone. We have a special guest today. This is very exciting. Michelle, can you introduce yourself? Tell us where you're from.
Sure. I'm Michelle. I'm from Brazil, São Paulo, and I just took IELTS
Yes, recently, right? We're so
recently. Yeah.
excited to have you here because you got amazing scores. And this is big because you applied for a re-examine and
Yeah.
your scores were changed. We want to hear all about that. So first, tell us, what scores did you get most recently when you took IELTS?
Sure. So I got 8 for listening and reading. I got 7 for speaking, and I got 6.5 for writing.
Okay. And what scores did you need? Did that hit all of the scores you needed?
Uh, Almost. I needed a 7 for writing. That's why I asked for the remark,
Yes.
and I got it. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So tell us about that process. Let's get into that right away because so many students
Okay.
ask us like, should I do this? I don't know. And it's really tricky. And I think a lot of students out there would like to know about the whole process. So first of all, tell us, what were your thoughts going in? You knew you needed a half band higher. What was it
Yeah.
about your test day that made you think that was a possibility that you could potentially get a higher score than you did?
Yeah, so first reason I asked for the remark was because I only needed the half band for writing. And I already had the other scores for listening, reading, and speaking was all right as well. So that's why I asked for the remark. And I felt confident on the test day when I did the writing task because I was able to apply everything that I learned on the course, and I knew that I had done a great job. I knew that I've done a better job than before, than the last attempts that I had. So I was confident that my job was good. So I thought, well, maybe there was a mistake. Maybe they will increase my score. So it's worth a shot.
Yes, it's worth a shot, right? I think
Yeah.
that's what really makes the difference. If you feel for whatever reason that you struggled, it was a really hard task, you remember not using a lot of linking words for whatever reason, you're thinking, yeah, this is probably the score I deserved. That's one thing. But if you are so confident, you feel like you use strategies and you know you did a great job and you feel really good about it, that's when you should apply for that remark because there's a good chance you can get it. We have seen students get a half band higher and
Yeah.
then get the scores they need. And it's so worth it. Now you don't have to take the exam again. You don't have to pay to take the exam again. And so it's worth that effort. So tell us a little bit about the process for students who have not yet applied for a remark. What
Okay.
was the process to do that?
So right after I got my results, I got in touch with the institution that I applied my exam and asked for the remark. And I they replied me by email, giving me a form that I should fill with my information and for which section I wanted to ask for the remark. And I could choose the four sections of IELTS. I could choose listening, reading, speaking, and writing, and the price would be the same. It wouldn't change. But I didn't need for listening or reading because I already had 8. But I asked for the remark for writing and speaking. So that's what I did. I filled the form and I sent it back to them, and I paid a amount of a fee that they asked me to pay for the remark. And my application would be sent to London, I guess, and some senior examiner would check my essays and my speaking test, and would evaluate again.
Yes.
And after a couple of weeks, maybe one, no more than 2 weeks, I got a feedback from email from the same institution saying that my writing scores were changed. They didn't say how it was changed. Maybe it was changed down, but I didn't think so. But because I after what I searched on the internet, I didn't see anyone like saying that it was possible. But anyways, I didn't know my results. So I had to send back my old scores form, the one that they sent me, the original one. And then after that, after they received it, they sent me a new one with my new scores. And when it
Okay.
got home, that's when I saw what score I got.
Okay, so it is a little bit of a process, and it's
Yes.
interesting when you first found out it was changed that they don't give you any details about how it
No.
was changed. You had to wait to receive your official scores to see what the change was. And so you said it took about a week before you heard back?
Yeah, 1 week or two.
A
No
week or
longer
two,
than
so
that. Yeah.
fairly quickly.
Yeah.
Well, and then let us know, how did you feel? I can guess, but how did you feel when you saw that your score had been changed, it was now higher?
I felt really relieved because that was exactly what I needed. I just needed that half band. Of course, that if it was higher, would be even better. Um, but it was all right. It was exactly what I needed to get a CLB 9. That's what I needed to what I'm gonna do next.
Awesome. And now you're on your way. That is the best feeling that you don't have to take the exam again. You have the scores you need. You can move on with the next steps in your life, your goals and dreams. I'm excited for you. Congratulations. And I
Thank
love
you.
that you're a success story for applying for that remark. So
Yeah,
that's good
me
for
too.
students out there to know, especially if you only need a half band higher, that is a possibility.
Yeah,
Okay, so let's get into some of your preparation. Tell us, first of all, you had taken IELTS in the past. And so,
yeah.
most recently, what had you gotten on IELTS before?
Before, around 3 months before the last attempt, I
Hmm.
took IELTS and I got 8 for reading, 7.5 for listening and speaking, and 6 for writing.
Okay, so really writing was where you were struggling. You needed to it up a whole band. And so,
Yes.
how did you find the Three Keys success system? How did you get into Three Keys IELTS?
Well, I found out about the course through All Years English podcast. I started to listen to All Years English, and I heard you guys talking about the other podcast, IELTS Energy. Then I started listening to IELTS Energy, um, and and that happened before my first attempt. So I didn't purchase the course by that time, but after I got my first results, I decided to purchase because I realized that something was missing, because I needed a score higher than 6 on writing. So I needed to understand what was happening, why I was getting only 6. That's why I decided to purchase the Three Keys IELTS course.
Gotcha. It sounds like
Yeah,
you were right there where a lot of students are, where you start studying for IELTS and you feel like you know a lot about IELTS and you're writing IELTS practice essays, but you don't understand, how exactly you can raise your scores. You don't really know exactly why you are getting the 6 you were getting and what you can do to
yeah,
push that up to the 7. And that's the thing about all the studying you can do online. that's what is missing, right? Is that feedback for
Yeah.
essays, the strategies that are very clear, so you know, okay, this essay would score a 7, this essay would score an 8, and this is why. Things that are directly
Yeah.
related to the scoring system. So I'm so excited that you were able to find 3 Keys IELTS so you could get the scores you needed. Let's talk specifics about things that you found in the 3 Keys IELTS writing module that helped
Okay.
push you from the 6 to the 7.
Yeah, I thought it was very helpful, the templates. It helped me to understand the possibilities that I had. So it gave me real examples of what I could do, how I could write, the expressions I could use, everything that I needed. So it was very helpful, and to understand the types of essays that I might have to do. Um, and it was, I guess that's the main thing. Like the templates really helped me to understand how I should write, and how which expressions, which vocabulary I should write, I should use, and stuff
Yes.
like that.
Yes, the templates are huge because it gives you the organization so you know how to
Yeah,
outline the essay. And like you said, for any of the different essays that IELTS might throw at you, you know exactly how to structure it. And then template sentences that give you high scoring vocabulary, linking words, and then you know which ones to use when. That's directly related to the scoring system. That's the key, right? Template sentences that were created by an examiner who
yeah,
understands the scoring system through and through so that you can figure out exactly how to write an essay that will score a 7 instead of it being a guessing game, right?
yeah. It's really helpful because you just need to basically fill the gaps. So you
Yes.
know the structure, it just fill the gaps.
Exactly, right? At that, once you have the template sentences, it's just a matter of filling it in with your ideas when you
Yeah,
brainstorm an essay, getting those strong supporting details and examples and everything else. And it makes it so much faster because you know exactly where to plug in the sentences that create this strong structure, this great high scoring organization. And then you have the brainstorming strategies to come up with your reasons and details and examples, and it all just flows. And
yeah.
that way you can get your 7 or even higher. We have students, they're able to score an 8 when they need an 8 for writing. It's so exciting. So let us
Mhm.
know your speaking score as well. Even though it likely wasn't changed by the remark, you still got a great score. Can you share with our listeners anything you found in 3 Keys IELTS that helped you raise your score on the speaking test as well?
Well, actually, my speaking score didn't raise because last time I got 7.5, but this time I got 7. But
Mm.
I think that the environment kind of influenced my score. I thought because of the pandemic and masks, and the room wasn't really quite appropriate. So I think a couple of details didn't help me
Oh,
on
can
the
you give us
test.
more details about that? I know a lot of students are wondering, like, what's it going to be like? What is the speaking test going to be like? So, what would you say was not appropriate about the room? What was difficult?
I thought it was kind of a small room, and it had a huge window right next to us, and it was opened. And we weren't kind of the first floor, so there was too much noise.
Oh,
And we were both wearing our masks, and we were sitting on a kind of a huge table, really far apart from each other. So I felt kind of hard I felt that I kind of had to scream to talk to the examiner. So that's what I think got on the way of me getting a higher score.
I can definitely see that. They have to have a certain amount of distance between the
Yeah,
examiner and the examinee, and you're wearing a mask. So you know you have to speak up. And
yeah,
it is so difficult to not let that throw you off, right? Because you have so much to think about already, right?
yeah,
Your pronunciation and all the vocabulary that you're trying to use, the slang and the idiomatic expressions. So to on top of that, be worried about having to project so the examiner can hear you. I could see really affecting your score. It's so difficult.
yeah. It was.
Yeah. Okay, can you let us know what's next for you? What are your plans going forward? Are you going to stay in Brazil? Do you have plans to go elsewhere?
I do have plans to go to Canada. I'm gonna apply to become a permanent resident in Canada. Um, I'm still on my way to that, but definitely IELTS got me closer to it. So I got a really good score that is going to help me to achieve it. So I'm very happy with that.
Yes, and your English is fantastic. You speak very well. You're very easy to understand. You seem like such a great person. For everyone listening, you can also watch a video of this interview on YouTube at our All Ears English at our IELTS Energy channel. So be sure to check that out so you can see Michelle. I'm so excited for you, Michelle. Congratulations on your amazing scores and
Thank
good luck
you.
in the future with all your endeavors. Thank you for joining us on the podcast today.
Thank you.
Thanks. Have a great day. See you later.
Thank you, you too.
Bye.
Bye.